Hello, everyone. Hello, Lady Boss community. I am live. I'm your host, Judith Tate, and I'm live here with Cari Brunton of Red Bucket Events. Thank you for being here today, Cari.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to talk to you and hear about your business. So, yeah, just do a quick introduction of yourself for our
Yeah,
guests.
sure. So I run Red Bucket Events. It's a full service event planning agency. And then over the course of the pandemic, it evolved into focusing on virtual events. And from there, everybody wanted to talk to me about webinars and how to make sure they're getting the most of their webinars. So I've developed programming to support them and help them make sure that they are getting the most out of it so that they're actually getting new clients from them. And it's been so much fun, and it's been a great way to use my skills. And I just I like that it worked out that way.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so tell us how webinars can help us with our business, can help us to get more clients, can help us to get more, just be more visible, because I'm all about being visible
Mhm.
in your business, because if people can't see you, if they don't know you're there, you can't get clients. So how can we use
Absolutely.
webinars to benefit our business?
So when webinars are done right, they're such a powerful tool. They're such a great way to bring people in, and they give you a chance to really show off your knowledge, your credibility. They really help you to build the like, know, and trust process with people because they get to test drive you. They get to check you out and spend an hour with you and learn that you actually know what you're talking about and you're a real person and not a robot.
Hmm.
And so it's so powerful, and it lets them see that you understand them and that you're able to connect with them and that you are absolutely the right person to help them. So it's such a powerful tool, and I love helping people to leverage it.
Okay. So with webinars, like what kind of platforms are we using? Like is it Zoom or what's the other one? I guess Google Meets, or like where do we go to do a webinar?
I usually recommend Zoom just because it tends to be the easiest. Most people are familiar with it, know how to use it. When you're asking people to jump on, they know how to jump onto it. It's not super complicated. Most people can figure out how to use the features with little or no guidance. And I don't like things to be overcomplicated. You need to be focusing on you and the awesome value that you're bringing to your potential clients, not on how to make all the bells and whistles and the tech work and, oh God, where's the chat feature? So if a client has a good reason for wanting to look at another platform, sure, we'll look at it, we'll try it out. I'm not a huge fan of Google Meets. I don't love the way it's set up. I find it doesn't have the same quality as Zoom. So I love Zoom. It makes things very easy for people. So that's where I recommend clients go.
Okay. So how, like, if what does it look like if I were to hire you
Mhm.
to help me with a webinar? Like what does that look like?
So we actually start from the very beginning with what is your strategy? Who is your target market? Why are you appealing to them? How is your service making their life better? And so we start from the beginning and we design your webinar around that. And from there, then we start to design your content. I'll help you pick your topic. I'll help you craft your key points. I'll help you make the visuals. And then we work on your marketing. We work on your offer so that it's really strong, it stands out. We integrate psychology into your presentation so that it's well received.
Hmm.
And we do presentation techniques as well as a practice session because you got to dry run everything, and it's the best way for me to give you feedback is to actually do the whole thing. We set up all of your follow-up so that your emails are ready to go. You know how you're connecting with people afterwards and you're not losing them. And then we help build a strategy for you to use webinars going forward so that whenever you need more people in your funnel or new clients, you can host a webinar and bring them back in fairly easily and fairly quickly.
Oh, okay. So if I wanted to do I don't know, say if I wanted to do a challenge, like I've got a 3-day visibility challenge coming up. Are you someone that I would go to? Because I know, like, the last time I did it, it was a lot of work, trying to manage everything, like trying to manage the emails, trying to promote it, all the posts, like even the follow-up after, like it was a lot of work.
It
Is that
is
something that I
absolutely.
would go to you for, to help with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
So essentially, a challenge is a series of short webinars, right? And you host one a day or two a day, where
uh-huh.
where you're going on every day to teach, a nugget, and then they're implementing that nugget. You come back the next day and implement a nugget, and at the end of the challenge, they've made progress. So it's very much the same process. You're still sending out the emails, you're still creating the funnel, like you said, the posts, all of those elements that go into it, and then you just have to make sure that you are delivering when you show up live. So
Hmm.
that's definitely something I work on with my clients.
Wow. I wish I had known about your business at the time when I was doing my challenge, because yeah, it was a lot of work. And then even trying to just, interact with the audience and, teach my lessons while I'm entering people into the room and monitoring the chat. It was very stressful.
It is, absolutely.
So during the webinar, like, if would you actually be there helping to
I
manage
I
it?
I am there. I'm you could I do management as like an add-on. I like to teach you how to manage it yourself so that you have the option, right? If
Yeah.
you want me to manage it for you, that's we can absolutely do that. But I also teach you how to manage it yourself so that you have the flexibility. Like I manage all my own. I feel comfortable doing it. So it
Okay.
it depends. But that's part of the practice session as well, right? Is
Yeah.
making sure that you know how to run all your own technology and do those things.
Oh, okay, that's great.
But
So how
either way,
many clients?
I'm there.
Okay, that's no, that's excellent. That's really good to know, because I was actually I didn't actually realize that people do that, because I was talking to a friend of mine saying I would love to have someone like, a launch manager, or someone that could help me with an event, because like it's a lot of work, and it's stressful, and then like I'm learning as I go. And when you want to just focus on delivering, you don't want to be having to learn everything as you go. So
Absolutely. Absolutely, it is. It's more of an undertaking than people think it is. It's one of those things that gets really easy once you've done it and you're good at
yeah.
it.
Mhm.
But it is very much an undertaking. And when you are talking about a challenge, like you mentioned, it is more of an event structure, and you have to, there's a lot more of a logistical element to it,
Mhm.
which works well for me and my clients because obviously my background is in event planning,
Yeah.
and so they dovetail together quite nicely there.
Nice. That's awesome. And so how long have you had your business?
So Red Bucket opened in 2019
2019. Okay.
and obviously got kicked in the face during in 2020.
Yeah.
But and so before that, I was a full time event planner for 8 years.
Oh, okay. And you don't do that anymore? Like, were you
Oh,
working for a company, or?
I was working for a company, yeah. So I was working in the not for profit sector. So now I work for me, and I have not for profit clients who I still manage their events, but I get
Yeah.
to play in all of the different sandboxes now instead of just one, which makes me
Oh,
really happy.
nice. So then what's it like being your own lady boss of Red Bucket Events?
Complicated, wonderful, scary, stress inducing. It's the whole roller coaster of emotions, right? Like
Mhm.
overall I love it. I'm so happy that I've
Mhm.
made the shift, and I love the control that I have in my life, and I love, and like I said, I love that I get to play in all different sandboxes instead of just one.
Mhm.
So because I get bored quickly and
Yeah.
I want to do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's awesome. Now, what would be the complicated side of it? Because running your own business, it's not always easy, and it does come with its challenges. And then sometimes you sit there and you actually second guess yourself, and you wonder, like, is this something that I really want to do? Because I say it's so much easier, even if you're miserable in your corporate job, it is so much easier to go to work, do your thing. You don't even have to do a good job. They'll still pay you, right? But it's hard when you're your own boss
It's
and you're
insane.
accountable to you. Yeah. So what
It's
what kind of like what part of it would you say is complicated?
For me, the biggest challenge was and continues to be getting clients, and it's
Mm,
gotten a lot easier, with practice and time, but it's still complicated. And you look at the numbers, you're like, okay, I should be booking this many clients per month, and then if you have months where you don't hit that, and you're like, oh God, where am I going? And you're right, you do your brain circles back. Maybe I should just go back to working full time where I'm not in charge of that.
yeah.
But but I just, for me, it's so worth it, and I love it. But it absolutely comes with challenges, and a lot of the time you feel like you're on your own and you're alone, and you're not. You just have to find the right support.
Hmm.
It can be lonely and frustrating and stressful and anxious, and it's a whole process. And like I know
Yeah.
when the pandemic started, it was an absolute kick in the face because the
Yeah.
entire event industry just shut down
Uh-huh.
like overnight. And at first we were like, okay, we're just gonna ride through this, we're gonna get through this month or these 2 months, and then we'll go back to work, and and then it was not 2 months. It was like, oh God, we have to start figuring things out.
Yeah.
And that's where my pivot came from. But it was intensely stressful for the first while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And like what's the best part about running your business? Like what do you love the most?
I love that I get to help other people unleash their awesome on the world.
Nice.
They get, I get to help companies be better by hosting amazing events that show off how their best parts and improve their worst parts. I get to help entrepreneurs host webinars that show people how amazing they are so that people are excited to work with them. I
Yeah.
love that I get to help other people do what they do best and less of the crap that drives them insane that I actually really enjoy doing.
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. Now, who would you say your ideal client is?
So I have two because of the way my services have built over the years. So for my event planning clients, my target is actually larger company, like small and medium sized enterprises. So they tend to be 20 or more employees. They tend to make a minimum of a about $500,000 revenue. They are really interested in improving company culture and and have a positive public relations standpoint, client attraction, things like that are my event planning clients. And then through COVID and pandemic, this webinar service and small virtual events have evolved. And so for those, I work mainly with solopreneurs who want to be seen as thought leaders and are ready for more clients and more attention. And it's been so fun to get to work with them because before they were the ones who were like, we're not going to do an event, like that's way too big. And now
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm a solopreneur and I can run a panel discussion. I can host a roundtable. I can host webinars, and it's given them so many more options. And I love being able to work with them.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it. That's nice. Because then you see like your client wins as your wins. It's really nice to know that you were behind that or that you fueled that win.
Yes, it's wonderful. It feels so good. And like I said, they get to go out and do more of the thing that they're really good at, as
Yeah.
opposed to getting bogged down in the marketing and the logistics of the event portion. And they get to go and,
Yes.
do more of the coaching or the marketing or whatever portion it is that they are really excelling at.
Hmm.
And the world just gets a little brighter.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really important, as I mentioned before. Like when I was doing my challenge and my course and stuff like that, it was a lot, because I'm trying to run everything and do the promotionals and send out all the emails and the follow-up
Mhm.
emails. And by the time it got to the sales part of it, I was so burnt out.
Mhm.
I was just exhausted, right? And I was like, I'm never doing that again. Next time I'm going to hire someone to help me with this. That's awesome. Um, Going back to Zoom, because we're all on Zoom. And one of the things that I teach on my visibility course is using Zoom and its wonderful features to make, to have exciting and not so much boring Zoom meetings, right?
Mhm.
Now, another one of the things that people don't like about going on Zoom, and we kind of talked about this briefly before we came on here, is, having to like get all done up and look your best and stuff. And there are so many features that can help you, you know, look great. And one of the features I discovered was in the back end, touch up your appearance.
Yep.
When I discovered that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So even if you don't have any makeup on that day, just put the touch up my appearance feature on, and it's like magic. I
It's
love it.
it's great. I often stare in the mirror and I worry and I go, oh my God, like I have it, like I have a zit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I jump on Zoom and I go, you can't tell at all. And I do have touch up appearance on, but I have it very minimal because if you crank it all the way up, I feel it looks a little unnatural.
Yeah.
So I have it on just a tiny bit, and you can't see my zit. You can't see that my
Yeah.
hair is a little greasier that day than normal.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a good hair day today, thankfully, but
Yeah.
there's always the days that you're not,
Yeah.
and you have to sit there and see yourself, and we go into hypercritical mode, and that's something a lot of my clients deal with. They're like, I don't like being on camera. I get anxious. I see myself and I think I'm going about it all wrong. I was like, okay, deep breaths. We can combat this. There's things we can do, you know. So
Awesome. So what are some of the features that we could use besides the touch up my appearance?
yeah, you can actually minimize your own box. If seeing you is freaking yourself out,
Yeah.
like go into the little visual setting in the top right, and you have like gallery mode, speaker mode, immersive mode, and put it on speaker mode. It'll blow up the other person, and you'll barely be able, like you'll be this big. You
Yeah.
know, it's so much, and so if seeing yourself is tripping you up and tiring you out, and all you do is judge yourself, do that,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a really good way. And then if you're in share screen mode, you can also make the panel that shows people bigger or smaller on your screen by just
Hmm.
hovering over the corner. It'll offer you that option. So
Hmm.
make yourself smaller by all means, or
Yeah.
flick it so that you can only see other people. Like
Yeah.
do what makes you comfortable, because the audience can sense when you're not comfortable,
Yeah.
and it makes the process a little more awkward.
Okay. And you know what? That also works in reverse too. If you're freaked out by seeing all these people, staring at you, you
You
can
can hide
just,
them. Yes.
yeah, exactly. That's perfect. I love it.
Yes, and just focus in on the camera and talk to the camera
Uh-huh.
and be like, "You're not a person. You're a little black box. I got this. I got
Awesome.
you."
And do you do this kind of work like talking to people or visualization or anything with your clients to help them be calm? Because some people are really, really freaked out by going online.
Yeah. I go through a bunch of different exercises. There's visualization techniques. There's kind of, some people need to be amped up. Some people need to be pulled down. Right. So I have calming techniques for the people who are way up here, because that's usually me. Like I'm like in not, I'm not necessarily anxious, but I'm excited and like over energized, and I want to come on and talk 10 miles an hour and be like, nah, 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 and like I'm
That's
gonna
me.
scare the crap out of people. Right. So I need to bring myself down. So the people who are super anxious and super nervous and like in a really crazy frantic place, we have calming exercises to soothe us and bring it down. And then for the people who are really shy and nervous and have a hard time coming out, we have exercises to excite them and energize them and help them be a little louder and a little stronger.
Hmm.
So I rotate it based on what my client needs.
Oh, that I love it because I'm like you, like I'm, way up here and it's because I'm excited. I could be a little nervous. And then sometimes like I'll just you talk like a mile a minute. Like I did an event the other night for International Women's Day.
Mhm.
And I think I was just so excited to be there. And I was just like, I just went on and on and on. And I was like, I think I'm talking too much. This was before we got online, in preparation and
Mhm.
stuff. And I thought, okay, I just got to calm down. But I was just so excited and so happy to be there. Um, One of the things I think is really important, you have to know what your triggers are too. So if you're like a person who's really, like hyper and very excitable, for me, I know do not drink coffee before an event because like it'll put me from here to here. So
Yeah.
I think that's also important to know what your triggers are.
I think it's so important to develop that. And one of the things I teach my clients to do is develop a confidence formula. So,
Yes. Oh,
a
cool.
couple of small things that make you feel better about
Yeah.
yourself and about being seen. So for me, one of them is brushing my teeth. And
No.
it sounds silly, but knowing that I have zero concerns about whether or not you can see breakfast in my teeth makes me feel better. Like it's
Yeah.
one less thing I have to worry about, and then I feel a little better about myself. Putting on earrings makes me feel a little better about myself for whatever silly reason it does. It works for me. And so
Yeah.
it's about finding a couple of little things that you can stack together, And then, there's other little things like I'll tell you to try to pee before
Yeah.
your thing, because you don't want to have to pee during that hour. It's awkward.
Yeah.
So, like little things like that just, alleviate extra worries from your mind, help you settle into your place. If it's visualization, if it's like a moment or two of meditation, I try to do that. I try to, do a lot of deep breathing to help calm myself and bring myself down a couple of notches.
Yeah.
And so, talking about what are a couple of little things that will make you feel good, that'll alleviate a couple of worries and help bring you into the zone that you can do, that you can repeat anytime you need to feel awesome and confident before getting in front of a stage or going on camera.
I really love that confidence formula. You know what? I never even thought of it that way, because I do things like that too, to help me feel better and just to calm me down. And yeah, like brushing my teeth. For me, it's taking a shower.
Yeah.
Like showers really, really just soothe me and relax me. And even though like you can't tell, or the audience can't tell whether I've had a shower or not, it makes me feel better, right? Doing things like, fixing my hair, making sure it's not sticking up all over the place like that, stuff like that helps me to feel better. So I really like that. Even though there are things that your audience can't see, it's all about how you feel, because then you present yourself a lot better if you feel better about yourself. So that's great. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all should have our confidence formula kind of worked out and mentally slotted in there, so that
Yeah.
it's like, okay, here are the things I need to make sure I have time to do before.
Yeah.
So for me, I need to have time to brush my teeth. I need to have time to go to the bathroom and put on earrings and just
Yeah.
those little things, and it doesn't have to take long. Mine probably takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I feel great and I'm ready to go, and it's like, yes, let's tackle that interview today and feel amazing.
Yeah. That's great. So do you have any events coming up, any promos on the go? Like, what, do you have anything like that happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually have a webinar next week. So on March 16th, and it's at 11:30 Eastern time. And we're going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that people are constantly making during their webinars and how to
Oh,
stop doing them.
awesome. Okay. So when we're done this chat, why
Mhm.
don't you drop that in the comment section so people can see it? And then
Absolutely.
feel free. Tomorrow is promo day, so if you want, feel free to throw in a post and promote the event.
I will make sure to do that.
That's excellent. And one last thing, how can people connect with you?
Absolutely. So I'm Red Bucket Events pretty much everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn as Red Bucket Events. The only place I'm not Red Bucket Events is TikTok, where I am at Toronto Event Planner. But there's still tons of webinar tips and stuff about small virtual events for small business owners on there as well. And then if you're looking to connect with me directly, you can either go to redbucketevents.com, or you can email me at Cari, Cari, at redbucketevents.com. I like consistency.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, also drop that in the comments as well.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, Cari. It was lovely speaking with you, and thanks to our viewers for watching. And I will post this in the event. I'll upload the streaming link.
Thank you
Great.
so much for having me.
Yes, it was great. Everyone have a great day. Bye.